What nonsense is this? Rubbish people. How can I receive such an amount of money?
How much did you get?
£200.
Let me see what you got. Oops. See what I got. I just received £200 from my brother.
Oh, you got a lot more than I do.
Oh yes, with Moneyfix, you can receive money from any part of the world to Cameroon directly into your mobile money account at the cheapest rate.
Wow. Are you looking for the best exchange rate for all your money transfer? Try Moneyfix. Log on to moneyfix.com. Moneyfix. Fast, easy, and cheap service to Cameroon. Moneyfix.
September is around the corner, and there is no better time to embark on your journey for studies in the UK than now. Are you looking for an opportunity to study in the UK? Do you want to graduate as a critical thinker and to gain the skills employers are looking for? Do you want to study a course in the shortage occupation list of the UK? Would you like to gain work experience by taking advantage of a 2 years post-study work visa? Would you like to study a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics degree to enable easy access to a permanent residence after graduation? FK Global Education Ventures got you covered. FK Global Educational Ventures will primarily evaluate, access, and advise you on the necessary requirements of admission, assist you in choosing from over 300 courses, assist you gain admission into any university of your choice, helps you with your visa applications, assist you with accommodation, airport pickups, and settling in the UK. For more information, do contact us on the details you see on your screens. Thank you and God bless.
One of the things that make me feel very beautiful and very confident as a brown-skinned woman is choosing the right skincare products. So here, guys, I feel of the products that I use that make me feel very beautiful, very confident. And if you have any skin issue, be it acne, hyperpigmentation, or oily skin, dry skin, whatever problem it is you're facing with your skin, trust me, Escape is here for you. Escape is actually formulated to suit all skin types, all melanated skin types. So when you use this, you see how confident I'm feeling. This is going to be you after using Escape products. Trust me.
Good news for Cameroonians living abroad and taking care of their loved ones back home. You can now purchase medications from the Your Farm app and have them pick them up from a local pharmacy. Here's how it works. Payer's journey. Number 1, you search the medication by typing in the name. Number 2, then you select a pharmacy in a city where your loved one lives. Number 3, you make the purchase using PayPal or credit or debit card. Number 4, you send the unique confirmation code to the recipient. Recipient's journey. Number 1, the recipient presents a confirmation code at the pharmacy and collects the medication. Download Your Farm app now.
Hey, hello guys. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Matchup Hot Topics Relationships. And it's quite unfortunate that Dele will not be here to be our host, and you'll be having me as your host for today. So please, good evening once more, and please, when you're joining, you share this video, invite your friends in. My name is Denzel Bless, your life and relationship coach, and I'm sure for those who are not new in this platform, you already know me and you know the work that we do, you know the things that we do here with a group of other intelligent people. So once more, let me say welcome. I am Denzel Bless, and welcome to Relationship Hot Topics under the list matchup. And on our panelists, we'll be having Bisong Bisbis and B. Emanuela. We all have been doing a great job, and I think you guys deserve spicy topics. So today we have come up with another brilliant topic to discuss, which is all about marriage. And before we go into that, we have seen a couple of adverts. So I think if you have not dived into that, do your your request, you can contact Delay for all the basic requirements. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, please, if you're joining, you share this video, you let me know that you're there under the comment section, and thank you so much for joining. And I think without wasting much of your time, I'll bring our panelists. They are behind the screen. I hope my table is fine. Okay, good. So our today's topic will be on marriages. That is the modern day and the old marriages. We'll try to like talk about those things and see what we can bring out to educate you guys out there. So please, when you're joining, I think it's important that you welcome your friends in, share these videos into your WhatsApp group, your messengers and Facebook pages, you know, spread the videos. Like my brother Bisong normally say that share these videos until it gets to Mokanganje, something you call like that. So please, once more, welcome our fellow viewers. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for being out there for us. Thank you for supporting us. And thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for being there. We are happy you're there, and we are also happy. So please, when you're there, you let me know. Our topic for today is all versus modern women in marriage. I think you can see the topic. You can see the topic on the screen, the old versus modern women in marriage. So I would like to bring our panelists. They are behind the screen. You all know who they are, B. Emanuela and Bisong Bisbis. So I think I would like to start with Emanuela. Hi, Emanuela.
Hi, Denzel. Oh my God. I didn't know what life was waiting.
It's like you didn't know like you're already connected.
No. I mean, I was expecting to be sent inside. I didn't know I was live already.
Okay. Then you're live. Welcome, Emanuela.
Thank you. Hi, guys. Nice to have you today again. It's going to be hot, another topic. Hot and hotter.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm okay. And you?
I'm good. Thank you. How is Germany?
Everything is okay.
Okay. That's great.
Weather, but not so bad.
Yeah. So are you excited for today's topic?
Sure.
Great. I'm happy to hear that. Glad to have you. Okay, guys, please, this is Emanuela, and as you join in, you share this video, invite your friends in, you know, tag them, share these videos on different platforms. Okay, let's have my brother, my quarrelsome brother, my fighting partner, Bisong Bisbis, on the screen.
Hello,
Hi,
hello,
Mr.
hello,
Bisong.
hello. Hello, Denzel. Hello, B. Emanuela.
Hi, Bisong.
Hi, Bisong.
And hello to our fellow viewers. Wow.
How are you, Mr. Bisong? How you doing?
No, I'm very, very okay. I'm very, very okay. What about you?
I'm good, man. Thank you very much. How is the weather like in Finland?
For the past 3 days, we've had like a sunny weather. It's been warm. We've been above 15 degrees for the past 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Strange. You get these few days in a year, you know. It's really rare. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a blessing to wake up and you see that the weather is getting better as compared to the last couple of weeks. You know, that's great. Okay, guys, we have a very pertinent topic to discuss, and I'm glad that I can share the screen with the both of you. And for our viewers, I hope by now you guys must have comprehended that the listener will not be with us today, but I can promise you all that next week she's going to be here, and it's going to be another boom. We're going to have another amazing topic. So on the screen, we have the old versus modern women in marriage. So this is our topic for today, guys, and I'll be like super excited to get your views and what you all think about the topic. But before we go into the detail of the topic, you know, I would like you to tell us like your overview. What do you think about the topic? I'll start with you, Emanuela. Thank you.
Thank you, Dense.
You're
So,
welcome.
looking at the old versus modern woman in marriage, I think this is coming up because we've been seeing a lot of differences from what we experience with our mothers or with our grandmothers or forefathers, for those who were lucky enough to meet forefathers.
Yeah.
So there have been some differences so far. And so we are interested. I'm also quite interested to get some comments like this, what are these differences in marriage?
Yeah.
What are the pros and the cons of these differences? I mean, like, what do we benefit from getting to make some changes in what our mothers used to experience, or what do we stand to lose because we don't want to follow the footsteps of our mothers or the footsteps of our grandmothers? So I'm actually looking forward to this.
Thank you so much. That's a very wonderful start from you. Okay, Mr. Bisbis, my bosom brother. So I would like to get your own part of your overview of the topic. I'm sure you know the topic. I don't have to say or like explain that to you anymore. So tell us what you think, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Before I say what I have to say, I'll please urge everyone once more, please share the video. Share. I always like share until it gets to Small Munganga. I hope you guys know this village, Small Munganga. Yeah, if you share and it gets there, then you've shared enough. But if it doesn't get there, then no, you still have to keep sharing. Share and pump hard, pump hard. Well, as the topic goes, old versus modern woman in marriage. My dear brother, marriage is, it's a wonderful institution, and people, in our day today, we've realized that people have different definitions of marriage based on which era you find yourself. People back in those days have a different definition of marriage. And I'll permit me call ourselves like the modern day people, or should I say millennials. We have another definition of marriage. So what marriage is all about. So I think this is a huge opportunity for us to really dwell into the topic and talk about it, so we know where we belong and what is expected from us if we have to get into this institution.
Yeah. Okay, man. Thank you so much. I think that's a beautiful start also from you. Hey, guys, please, if you're joining us, I just want to say welcome to Relationship Hot Topics on Daily Matchup. If you're joining us, please share this video. I think it's important we keep repeating that Facebook has limited us just to a certain number of viewers, but I hope you guys can share as many times as possible. Invite your friends in. Let's have a wonderful discussion, all of us. So my first question would be to you, Emma. This is marriage we are talking about, and it's quite clear that we have different perspective when we talk about marriage, and I'm glad the three of us can really sit down with our viewers, then we talk about these things, like what is marriage all about, what are the benefits, what are the disadvantages of it, but I really do not want us to go into detail about the disadvantages or advantages, but I want to get your perspective on this. Do you think that is contextual to the topic? Do you think that the modern day woman has no fear for singleness or singlehood?
Has no fear for singlehood?
Yeah, like they are not afraid, like after a certain number, after a certain age, they will be single. Like, do they love singlehood?
That's a bit tricky because I won't say so. I won't say modern woman has no fear for singlehood. Like how? No, I mean, okay, this is how I look at it.
Yeah.
Since we are talking about modern versus old, it would be difficult for me to want to talk about the modern without trying to touch the old.
Yeah.
When it actually comes to the generation of our mothers and our grandmothers,
yeah,
I would say their families were more afraid of singlehood for them than themselves. Yeah, let me explain this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about your mother or the mothers around you.
Yeah.
But most of these mothers, they had no choice when it came to who they got married to. Because their families were kind of making this decision for them. Because their families feared a situation where a daughter will not be married tomorrow, and then the disgrace is going to go back to the family. So before you finish, you complete your class 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Your family has already looked for one husband, for one man standing by the side for you. And if you look at it, many of those mothers of that generation, most of them who attended a certain level of education, it's because their husbands then took over that time, you know. After they got married to them, they continued. Else parents were not so concerned about whether you were educated, whether you had to be educated or not. They were more concerned about covering their family names and making, you know, so our family is seen as our daughters are getting married. Now, coming back to the modern woman, the modern woman is more afraid of singlehood for herself and not even for the family.
Okay.
Yes, in as much as we have this pressure coming from the family behind, like, hey, what are you waiting for? Why are you not getting married? Why are you not having a child? The modern woman, for her own self, she wants to experience it. So for me to think that a modern woman is not afraid of singlehood, except when you talk about fear, you meant something else. But from what I know, the modern woman wants to get married. That's why I don't stand with this woman who will be like, I'm no longer interested in marriage. And no, I don't stand, I don't go with that. I don't trust it. If you're not interested, I always say, if you're not interested in marriage, your friends who are not interested in marriage, they're in sisterhood and COVID. They're sitting there because they want to be known. So if you're not interested in marriage, then you should have nothing to do with a man.
Makes sense.
If you have something to do with a man, have something to do with a man who is equally not interested in marriage. That means you people want to play your game. But so far as you are in a relationship and you're trying to pressurize a man about marriage, then please stop preaching if I'm not interested in marriage. So I would say a modern woman is kind of afraid of singlehood.
Okay.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Yes, you did. You did. I think you answered it properly well. Bisong, I don't know if you like to throw a little bit light into that as compared to the modern day, especially with the trend on social media. I know Emma defended it so well, and I would like just to give a little bit more insight, just to add more flesh to the bones. Like depending, like regarding to the things that are trending on social media, we see a whole lot of young, beautiful women, and they're preaching or they are perpetuating the idea of them being happy, though without marriage, or like the singlehood quote, like they are happy with it. I don't know if you have anything to add to that before I ask you your own question directly to you.
Thank you, Denzel. Well, before I say anything, I just want to tell you. I want to make a statement to you. I'll ask you a question first.
Okay.
Yeah, we always talk all the time, like beside this show, we always have conversations all the time. And maybe if there's any other person who, any of our viewers or listeners who knows me personally, you see the things like I always like talking about. It's human psychology. For example, Denzel, if I ask you, have we ever talked about like drugs?
Yeah.
Like, do I always talk to you like about drugs? Because human psychology, when you talk about something all the time, it means you are interested in that thing. You understand? In our conversation, I will rarely talk about drugs with you because I'm not interested. You understand me?
Yeah.
If I keep talking, irrespective, positive or negative about that thing, you have an interest in it.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
And when we look over social media, you will realize that most of, they say the single woman, they always talk about marriage, be it they're saying something positive about it, they're condemning something, or they're praising. if you talk about it, you are interested. So if they aren't interested, why do they talk about it? I think this is one sign to show that the modern woman has a fear for singlehood.
Yes.
Secondly, if you back then, the old, you know, in the days of old, marriage was all about arrangements. You understand? They say dating started, marriage was, people started a relationship in marriage. You understand? Back then. You understand? Yeah. Relationship started with marriage. You understand? Because you take a girl who doesn't know, has never met a man before, and they just present you to this man that this is your husband. Relationship starts. But nowadays, marriage, marriage is like the finale. We always have our relationships, even though, after you've had years of relationship, the marriage is always like the last or the finale, because it starts in so many, it starts in so many different ways. It could start even with a one night stand, friends with benefit, dating. These are relationships, you understand?
Yeah.
Then marriage comes now as the last thing. But in the days of old, marriage will come first. So now, if you look at, what am I trying to say? Look at all the cases where in our day today, where marriage is coming as the last. Who instigates all these relationships? Who has given room for these relationships? All the one night stand, all the friends with benefit, all the can we stay?
Yeah.
Why is it going this way? It's actually the fear of being single. The fear that you should start something with someone, should in case time catches up with you, then this is someone you can take to the altar. So it's just what's happening today, that the single people of today, they always want to create this relationship that will take them to marriage, even if they don't even have a definition of it. All this is because they have the fear of being single, and they get into relationship with a lot of vulnerability, a lot at stake, without spelling out proper, like defining what you want in that relationship. That you're already in it, you haven't defined anything you want in the relationship. So I think, all in all, the people of today, they are women of today, actually, they are really, really scared of being single.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I think I like that. I like the way you try to analyze it. The examples that you brought in, I think it's really good and it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, now there is something I call SMPV, which is sexual marketplace value. I don't know if you get that correctly. Sexual marketplace value. Okay, now that is SMPV. We are talking about marriage, and marriage has something to do. It goes with age, right? It goes with age, because there are certain ages, especially in Africa, within our African continent. I think less than 5% of our population get married after 45, or let me say after 50. Very less number of people get married after that age. We see almost 95 and above, or 90 and above, people get married between 20, right, up to 40. Okay, this is like, you can already see these people into marriage. Are you someone, based on this is for you, are you someone who, do you believe that women should pay more of attention into these values, like this sexual marketplace value? Because when you get to a certain age, your values will drop regards to getting married. I don't know if you understand my question.
Come again.
Yeah, okay. I was talking about SMVP, which is sexual marketplace value, right? Okay. I said something about our African community, right? At a certain age, the number of people that are getting married after 45 we have less than 5% of men and women. Okay, let me say women. For men, it's okay because it's different. You know, less than 5% of women get married after 45 years of age, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you one of those people who believe that our modern day women need to take that into consideration, like they need to get married or start to work hard on themselves and to maintain a relationship before they get to this place where their values regarding to marriage start to drop down?
Well, okay, now I get you so clearly, Denzel, and
Yeah.
I'm going to start from should I call it an acronym or the abbreviation of SMPV, the sexual marketplace value, which you're talking about. And you are trying to ask if this sexual marketplace value is something that women should urge women to get into marriage earlier on, so that they don't lose their sexual marketplace value. I won't rule out the fact that sex is something very important in marriage. You understand? But it shouldn't be. Last time, I think on our previous show or some 2 shows behind, we talked about this, that sex shouldn't be the only modalities of coming together in marriage. It's very important. I will never deny that. But again, women shouldn't rush into marriage because they have the fear that they are losing their sexual marketplace value, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, if this sexual marketplace value, it was really, really, really relevant, it's something that we all lose it. Men lose it. Women lose it. We didn't come to this world to be at our optimum pace. A 25-year-old guy, a 30-year-old guy who stand higher chance, who perform better than a 50-year-old man.
Yes, based on excuse
the thing is, I'm coming, please. The thing is. So let me land, please. The thing is, we can't dwell on these sexual abilities and all the qualities and values you're trying to talk about, because as early as you want to get married, the values will still drop while you are at home, you're in marriage with your man. You get married at the age of 25. By the age of 50, both the man and the woman, you guys have lost your values. If when you got married, you were going 6 rounds, at that 50, 60, you just go 1 round and sleep. You see? So, so we can't, which I'm trying to say that in any case, we will all lose our values when it comes to that sex. But is marriage really based on the real values which a man can derive from a woman? These values never die. They are not sexual values. The values of care, the values of commitment, the values of love. You know, these are values that instead, as time goes on,
they increase.
It increases, it matures. Meanwhile, the sexual values drop. So if you get into marriage because of these sexual values, of course, after 5-6 years, you start looking outside, because after 5-6 years, trust me, both partners must have tried every style on earth. After 5-6 years in marriage, there's no style again. There's nothing new you do in bed, nothing. You understand? But when it comes to care, commitment, love, sharing with each other, you know, every day is a new style. Every day is a new way of loving. Every day is a new way of caring. So I just think this sexual marketplace value, I don't know if I've answered your question.
Yes, you did, but just that you focus on one particular aspect, which is on the sex. I want a man now to talk a little bit more, but I will try to like give more light on it. It's not just pertaining to sex. It's also like, let's be broad on things like to have kids at home. You know, like this we talk about. I've forgotten the name of it, but they said they made the biological clock for women, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was the general body of it. It's not just about the sex. It's about the other things that couples want to have, like having children. You know, all those things. So I don't know, Emma, if you would like to give more light on that.
Okay. This one, can I talk?
Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead, Emma.
Okay, so Denzel, now I really get your question really well. I think Bisong and I in the beginning we didn't get it because I was also like, is Denzel really looking at using sex as determinant or factor for marriage or something like that? Yeah, so getting your point, I would like to take it this way. Yeah, you're trying to we should take this biological clock and all of this into consideration as women. Why preparing or trying to keep up to this marriage time and everything, the clock and everything. Yes, okay. So first, I will start by almost repeating what Bison said. This marriage clock is for everyone. In as much as it weighs more on the women, it's still for everyone.
That's how I want us to look at it, yeah.
Exactly. So now, looking at the side of the women, this is how I can advise. Because, if we don't balance this thing, there is a wrong information because I know my gender. We always wait for we take that wrong information and then we use it very well. Because by the time you start telling people to make hay, before you know it, the cases on Daily's Matchup will triple of pregnant, 22 years old, 23-year-old, 24-year-old, because we talked of biological stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Now, when you are young, you have this, most of the time people have these suitors coming. So my advice is this. Make sure you do not miss that period out of your own making. You get? Yes, make sure you do not miss that heat period of marriage out of your own making. Because, it's a common phenomenon, like when women are still young, they're like, I'm still young. Mm-hmm. You want to date the whole of Boya, you want to date the whole of Obiko, you want to date the whole of Bamenda because you think you still have time. Today they meet you with this guy, they meet you with that. They don't know where you're stable. Even your family is confused. And you use that time, that your young stage, to do a lot of things that are not so meaningful.
Yeah.
And now you get to an age where, this clock now, something is happening around your clock. And you have no choice. So that's my advice is be very careful during that period. On the other hand, it's not always your fault if you're getting to 40 without a husband. Women should also know things like this. And so when they talk about you trying to maintain that biological clock, it doesn't mean you should do all the wrong things for the right reasons or all the right things for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because that's why now we see a lot of people getting into this can't we stay because they're afraid of this biological clock. That's why we get a lot of people now trying to have about 5 kids before even getting married because them are picking them, the toxic woman and this and that. So I just feel like, yes, we need to try to be around this clock in as much as we can. But I think the bulk of the job of this work is in God's hand. That's what I really think. And also, before the men, start thinking that this message is going just to the women. Unfortunately, women are not the ones to decide about marriage. Men are the ones to make this move. So you, this man, you know that there's no biological anything disturbing you. I made a statement like, if I see a man from 40 plus, not married, I start thinking you have an issue.
Are you in any way saying that men are not making this move?
That's what I'm like, okay, if it's a man's place to make this move, right? Yes. So to me, in essence, what I'm trying to say is this. In as much as the society is doing the reverse of what I'm trying to say, a woman at 40 who is not married will be looked upon like, there's a problem. You get what I'm saying? To me, it's the reverse. It should be the reverse. A man at 40, you cannot tell me that with all the decision, you don't want to make this move. What are you waiting for 40 years you've not seen? 45, you're waiting for you've not seen. So I'm just trying to say men have the upper hand in terms of this biological clock. in terms of making the move, in terms of deciding, in terms of, and this is going to really take us back to when we start talking about our African culture, when we tell women to wait for the men to make the move.
Yeah,
you get this. So if not, we find us contradicting ourselves when we say these things, and then we end up start telling women if the men are not coming, make the move, of which I cannot contradict myself to that extent. So
shoot your shots.
Okay, Emma,
have you been shooting your shots, and who have you been shooting at?
Yeah, thank you so much, Emma. We have a question.
Tell us, let's know. Have you been shooting your shots, and who have you been shooting?
I am not supposed to own bullets.
We have a question. We have a question on the screen. Before we go for a short break, we have a question on the screen, and I would like Bison to take that. It says, what is the reason for the significantly high divorce rates in marriage nowadays vis-a-vis our parents? So Bison, before we go for the short break, I don't know if you would like to talk to that, like take that and have a minute or two before we go for a break.
1 minute or two. Are you sure it's gonna be enough for this question?
Okay, you can have the floor.
1 minute or two for this question. Who asked the question? Daily Smart Shop. What's the reason for the significantly high divorce rates in marriage nowadays vis-a-vis our parents? My brother. All in all, since as you've given me just 2 minutes, I want to use one big word, a word that was instigated by men.
Yes.
A word that men brought on the table because they wanted their women to feel comfortable and valued. And
that's
then now
feminism you're talking about now.
I don't want to talk. I didn't want to mention feminism. I wanted to talk about something else. I don't want to mention I know say if I mention that word too, bullets they go come on left and right. But this word
emancipation, I think.
It comes under feminism. Equality. Equality.
Okay.
I was so amazed when I found out that men were the one who even started the issue of feminism, to give women, to make women to be equal, to give them that equality, to make them feel valued.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that is what I'm telling you now. It was a protest in Australia by 300 men. You understand? Because now, if we have to talk about this, me being a man, if I have to talk about that, women, some would term me as anti-feminist, of which is something which has been highly promoted by men.
I'm one of those.
Even in our own country, in the parliament, men, ministers, parliamentarians, male parliamentarians, they are the ones that gave the possibility for women to take part in the parliament.
Yes.
This is all about modernization. It's not like we are trying. So what am I trying to say? I don't want to go deep into this, or else I may go off your question, off Delhi's question. This equality is what is killing our marriages of today. Back then,
Bishop, don't you think it's not about the word equality? It's about the misconception of the word.
Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you. It's the misconception of the word. That's the right phrase or right sentence.
Yeah.
Now, back then, our mothers in the days of old, what they valued in marriage was family. They wanted families to live as one. That's what they value. The aspect of just give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. So they valued the aspect of marriage. They valued their family. They valued their kids in the family. This is what their main goal was, to see that the family, they bring up a happy family. But today, our girls of today, they are not going into marriage for that. The first thing they go, their main goal is to stand, to be equal with the man. You know, they strive, instead of striving to bring up a nuclear family where you have your man and your kids and they grow happily, they start striving for equality. Once you start striving for equality, that's where the misconception of the word comes. You start seeing your husband as a rival instead of a partner.
Yes.
And then again, the modernization, we have made our ladies to know that they have see, God blessed women. They gave women the strength and wisdom that they could do many other. Women are, you see, every woman is multitasking, you know. Yes, every woman is multitasking, you know. You go into a house, you see a woman, she has kids, she's taking care of kids, and that's the moment she's cooking, she's cleaning the floor, she's doing laundry.
She's listening to the gossip behind. She's on phone.
She's listening. Her phone is on. She's listening to one YouTube gossip. She's doing all that. This is how women are talented, and this is how men notice, and this is how men identify this talent in women, that women can actually multitask and they do all of their tasks perfectly. So we said, okay, why don't we give women the opportunity to explore the world as men are doing? They could take part in many other careers, in many other things, and they could do that as well and still carry on with their motherly activities at home, you know. But now everything went wrong. Just like how God sent Eve in the garden and said, enjoy everything, but don't enjoy this particular fruit. As inquisitive as they are, as Eve was, right? She went in for the fruit. And it's the same thing today. They have gone out there. They have career. They are now career women, which we admire. We appreciate. They are building a better society. But now they are using their careers. They are using their finances as a weapon to fight, to compete. As I said, they see men as, how do I say it, rivals.
Yeah.
You know, and men naturally egoistic, you know, it's always a conflict. The modern day woman doesn't know the difference between a man and a woman, because when she turns left, she sees a single mom who is working and taking care of her child and everything is going fine. She has the impression that she doesn't really need a man.
Okay.
If she has a job and staying with a man, these are things that are happening. She looks, her neighbor is a single woman with 2 kids, a single mom with 2 kids, taking care of this child, of these children, providing for them, doing everything. And she is married with 2 kids as well. And she has a job. She now thinks, what will the man he value say for me? The same single mom out there. So these are some of the things that, and it gives the women, it gives them the impression that men are meant only to make babies. That's, I see sometimes on social media they call some men sperm donors and things like that. And then again, in general, society, especially in the Western world, where we come today, how in most Western countries the law favors women and this, that, but it's not there. These laws are not there to break marriages. They are there to protect women.
Yeah.
I don't know why they always get confused about this. These laws are not there to break marriages. They are there to protect women.
Okay.
But now, instead, the women of today, they are using all these laws, all these things, all the blah, 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 the child support stories left and right and things like that. They use it as a weapon. I chakara the marriage, which happened. Because nowadays, society, we don't look as, we don't see a divorce as a taboo. It's so normal.
Yeah.
It's so normal. As back then, divorcing was a big taboo back then. It was used in stigmatizing people, not divorcee.
Yeah.
But now people use it in introducing themselves. They use it in layering.
They even celebrate after divorce.
Yes, they use it in layering men. A man sees a beautiful woman and he's maybe cautious in approaching her. He sees a beautiful woman and maybe scared. It's the woman who is the first one. But I don't divorce you. That's what they use it now in luring people, in inviting men to them. I don't divorce you. I don't marry me. You marry me. I don't divorce me 3 years ago. Back then, a divorcee will hide. Who even like to tell people that she's divorced. Without taking much of your time, let's just have our break.
Yeah, but technically, I think from the technical side, it's like they have added us more time. So thank you so much, Bisong, for giving us your perspective, especially as a man. So I don't know if Emma, you would like to throw more light on that. What could be the reasons for the high divorce rate today from a female perspective? I'll be happy to get your own point of view on that.
Okay, so Benze, let me add to what Bison said, and let me start from where Bison ended.
Okay.
First and foremost, in the past, divorce was a taboo.
No doubt, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, even always trying to use our mother's time to compare now doesn't really necessarily mean that our mothers were staying there because they wanted to stay. They were staying there because some of them were protecting their family needs. And now, coming to the modern time, first of all, divorce is even very high because people, first of all, get married for the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. You get married because all your friends are married. So you don't even know the man you're married to. And then you don't know the man you're married to in what sense. I still repeat the fact that mothers got married to men they did not even know, yet they were able to stay, and they were staying maybe because the men also, the men knew the value of marriage, or better still, they had their families to protect, so they had to stay. But with the modern women, we don't care if family name or family whatever, emancipation, quote unquote, has come into the whole story. You get into a relationship. This is the time where people should get married to the people they know, because now, okay, divorce is very easy. Now you get into a relationship with someone you don't know just because all your friends are married, just because all the women in the quarter are married, just because when you are pointing fingers at you.
Out of desperation.
Out of desperation. And now you get inside, and that's when you get to know the man you're married to. It could be an abusive man, emotionally, physically, and then you cannot stand this. And then also considering the advocates, because we have a lot of advocates out there. Even on the platform, we also tell people, when the marriage is not going, when it becomes abusive, you leave. Trust me, in the past, you didn't have people telling mothers like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have people telling our mothers that when the marriage is not working, you leave. On the contrary, we had their mothers telling them, you have to stay in your home, stay there and manage whatever thing is happening. So you don't even have to tell a neighbor that you have a problem in your house. That's exactly why we had mothers who were going through abuse, but maybe you never know unless you're close to these mothers, because they kept it to themselves. But now it has come to a situation where women do not just walk out, but they get to spread the information.
Yeah.
They get to share with people, like, this is what I'm going through. And then now they leave. And then another person is also learning, like, okay. So that a lot of people now are getting to misunderstand this whole thing. Women are just misunderstanding. And they think that the least issue in marriage means that since they say if it is not working, you can walk out. And now you see people walking out. And like Bison mentioned, people can be proud to say I'm divorced, because it seems as if they need to give you a trophy for being able to divorce your husband from something. So you get the whole picture about marriage. First of all, I think we need to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
We need to understand the picture of marriage. We need to understand why we are getting married. You need to understand why you're getting into this whole thing. And that's why I will go back, like in the beginning, we said, do not rush into it just because of your biological clock or just because you're being pressurized to do it. These are some of the things we are trying to avoid. So that when you avoid those things, we are not planning to get married to angels. I keep saying those things. You do not agree with yourself 100% all the time. So you don't expect to always agree with your partner. So in as much as the misunderstanding will always come, that I think it's better minimized when you know the person you're getting married to, when you get married to a friend. When you get married to somebody you can freely talk with, that means when you people have issues at home, it's easier for you people to handle instead of you trying to run out. When you are able to spot an abusive man from afar when you're dating and you cannot get into this relationship, you're already saving a lifetime divorce. So looking at those two kind of situations, I think like this is it. Yeah, this is how it now works. Our mothers were kind of taught like it's about family. It's about, I mean, not just your family as you, the person in the marriage, the family where you're coming from. Because even whether we like it or not, see, today people still talk about things like that. They look at the family like all get for this thing, they stay for marriage, they don't divorce. So when a guy is coming from abroad to get married, they say, hey, no go for that family. A big sister don't divorce, a small sister don't divorce. They might never even marry for divorce. Divorce. Their brother, where he actually never even married, they still look at those things. Even in bigger cities, people still get to know those things. So then you can imagine in the times of our mothers, where they were taught that divorce is a taboo and your family name is very important. And then the neighbors are watching at you. They are watching at your kid sisters who are not yet married. You had to do everything it actually took to keep this together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I feel like, okay.
And there's maybe I just add one point which I left out about this issue. I always say when people decide to come together in a relationship as marriage, whether you like it or you don't like it, two things must be involved: sacrificing and committing. Two people from two different backgrounds, two different families, with maybe sometimes different cultures, sometimes different ethnicities, you are coming together. Trust me, you like it or you don't like it. There are some things you will sacrifice. When you commit yourself, there are things you will sacrifice for the happiness of your partner.
Yes.
But this is something which the people of today, they are not ready to do. You want to have a happy marriage, but you don't want to sacrifice. You don't want to commit. It can never work. Just like any business.
Yeah.
Just like any business, because you ask, maybe there's every marriage may have their own principles. Every man has his own principles or whatever. There are things that they will cherish, what they won't cherish. So it differs. But when you find your place in a man's house or in the hands of a woman, be ready. If you want to keep this man or this woman, you have to sacrifice, you have to commit. You have to sacrifice some certain attitudes of yours, whether you like it or you don't like it. There are some things you used to do when you were single. You have to stop it, even if you like doing it. These are the sacrifices you must make. You are doing this so that to create a conducive environment for the other person that is coming in. And the other person too must sacrifice. But what is happening today is everyone wants to stay in marriage, but no one wants to sacrifice. No one wants to commit. I have to decide today that no, I am not going for sports twice a day anymore, or I'm not going for sports 3 times a week anymore, because on this particular day, I have to help my spouse in doing this business or in doing that. I didn't like doing it, but I am doing this because I want to create a conducive environment for her. I have to make that space for her. These are the sacrifices. But what is happening today? I saw a post on Daily's Matchup. I don't want to get into it.
Yes,
it's just the lack of sacrifice and lack of commitment.
We will get to that anyway. Thank you so much, Bitsong. I think in the next 6 minutes we'll go for the break. I just received a signal that in the next 6 minutes we'll be going for a break. But again, I want us to talk about this a little bit more. And regarding to what you said, Bitsong, I think I posted something on social media that I said it's like the today or the nowadays woman, she's more ready for the wedding, but she's not ready for the marriage. You know, they are really ready to do the wedding, but they are not ready for the marriage. Just like Bison was trying to explain, marriage is all about compromising. There are things that you do not cherish. There are things that you do not want to do. Okay, but you have to do some of these things because these are the things that make your spouse feel valued. These are the things that make your spouse feel relevant, and it keeps them going. And like I think I've said this before, as a human being, when it comes to relationship, we all have different love languages, and my love language is completely different from that of my spouse. It's completely different from that of Emma, Delhi, and all, like, people all over the world. But the most important thing is for you to identify your spouse love language and press that or play that button, sing that song to them. Love is one word, and it's one of those words that have been interpreted in different languages in the world. Okay, but there is something that we all want. We all want love. But this love that we all want, I think, personally, I think we can show our spouse that we love them in different ways. But those ways have to be what they value, what they cherish. Okay, like, if I think I've said something before that the satisfaction, physical touch, it's someone's love language. It deals with sex, it deals with just holding hands, it deals with just going for a walk. I put it under physical touch. This is someone's love language. And I said, the satisfaction that someone whose love language is physical touch, he gains the same satisfaction as someone whose love language is words of appreciation. They gain the same satisfaction. I don't know if you guys get it. That is, if I take out the trash from my home and my wife say, "Hey babes, thank you so much, I feel so good." If that is her love language, she will be so satisfied as compared to, as equivalent to me, if sex is my own love language or physical touch. These are the things that I want people to understand out there. We have different love languages, and we need to please our spouse based on their love language. You cannot do some things that you feel important to you, whereas it's different to your spouse. You can do them for you, but if it comes to do things for your spouse, do the things that they cherish. I think in that dynamics, you will have a very peaceful relationship atmosphere. So I don't know, Bison, if you or Emma, who was the last who spoke? Is it Bison or Emma?
I did. Emma should go if she wants to, but I can go if she doesn't mind.
We have 3 more minutes before we go for the break. So Emma, I would like you to talk on this. Delhi posted something on the platform, which is what we are under, the Delhi Smart Shop, and this came from a brother who he has been married. Unfortunately, I would have loved to project that so everyone can see. This came from a brother. He has been married for 2 years, I think 26 months. That's 2 years plus. And they have been living together with the wife. He's the one who is working, and they do not have any child yet. And the brother complained that for the past 2 years, his wife has never washed his undies. And this has been a kind of a little problem between the two of them. I don't know if you can use the last 2 minutes, 40 seconds to talk on that before we go for a break. Later on, Bison will talk on it as well.
I'll give Bison the chance to talk on that.
Okay, so it's like you're preparing a lot to discuss later. Okay, Bison, you can go ahead.
Well, as I said, this issue is all about the lack of commitment and sacrificing.
Yeah.
And just I'll take some I take some knowledge from you, Denzel, and from Emma as well. There are 2 things here that I'm gonna put together. Let's just see it clearly. You talked about love language. You talked about love language. We have our individual love languages. You understand? Yeah. The way I would prefer a woman should treat me to make me feel loved is different from the way, Denzel, you expect your wife to do. You understand? But the issue is when we come together in a relationship, you only have to identify your partner's love language. This is what my partner likes. He or she cherishes this when I do this or that. You understand?
Yeah.
So now, relating to this Delhi's case on her platform about the guy complaining, boxers, cooking, I don't see. When I went through, I decided not to comment on this, because when I went through the comments, they were horrible. They were so pathetic coming from women. You know, I saw how women rule this out completely. There is a case where there are people, we have seen men who in their homes, they get into the kitchen. Not that they prefer, but they get into the kitchen, they wash dishes.
I do that.
Yeah, like it or not, it's washing of dishes. It's kind of a feminine job. But
Of
because
course.
we want to make peace in marriage, but because maybe we have seen that, I have seen that my wife, she really likes seeing me doing dishes. I don't like doing it, but I want to make her feel loved. I just do it. This is a sacrifice. You understand?
Yeah.
A friend may spot me from my kitchen window, seeing me washing dishes, and he goes about, you bush kind of man, you the wash pan for your house.
Yeah.
That's what keeps my home happy.
Of course.
It's my duty. You understand? It's
I love
one
that.
way of making my wife happy. I'm not married to please society. I am married to please my wife and make a happy family.
I
So
love
this
that.
is the idea. So if a man is asking his woman to wash his boxers, where was that woman when this relationship started? Why didn't she know about all this? Only after 26 months in marriage, then she's complaining about it. This is where I take information from Emma's point, where she said people get married for the wrong reasons. People just get into marriage, then they start dating. Then they start learning who their partner is. But these are things that you should know about your partner. This is his love language. Am I ready to do it? Yes or no? If you are not ready, don't get into marriage with him. Because there is another girl that will do it happily.
Without complaining,
And this girl has her own love language. She has her own demands that she will make. And we expect the man to fulfill that as well. So what is the complaint? I still don't understand why girls will come on Facebook and make pathetic comments because a guy is asking his wife to wash his boxers. That is what, it's not slavery. It is not slavery, as some people said, except they don't know what is slavery.
Yeah.
There's no forced labor there. It's not work without pay. There is a pay for that. The pay you get, the pay you get from it is pleasantries, a lot of expectation from your other partner. You are doing it, yes, you are doing it in different forms. See, people are doing all sorts of things in their homes to make their home. See, when you get married, Denzel, your responsibility is to make your partner happy and build a happy home.
That's it.
Even if it means me you sleep under bed every day and you think you can do it for your wife.
Yeah.
And if you want to say a woman sleep for ceiling to make you happy, if she gets married to you, it means she's ready to sleep in the ceiling. Now, outside that, they go look and they say, how can slave man that night sleep under bed? Is it your problem? That is what is keeping the home happy. So if a man is coming on Facebook and saying his wife refused to wash his boxers, and I see girls crucifying this man, dirty man, go wash your boxers, go do this, go do that, go do that. Are they not men? I know women who have requested their husbands to wash their undies because they feel loved when the man does that. And because the man wants to make his woman happy, he does that quietly. People, would he do the thing for us? No man so they can talk for public. People they lick shit here or tongue for keep home happy. Would they lick them to keep the home happy? You understand?
You should already married. Keep it this.
No try to personalize. I did not tell you, say, would you do this? We do this thing to keep our home happy. It is
honestly, I
yes, it is, but it is our responsibility. You understand? We are not married to please society. You understand? We are not married to please. We are not married to please society. We are married to build a happy home. And any home get onto it generate happiness. Every home get onto it generate happiness. So man own up a wash pan.
Hey, darling.
Hello, honey.
I brought you this.
You got me a new blender.
Oh, yes. Thanks to the more money I've been receiving through Moneyfex.
How come?
I receive more money through Moneyfex because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last senders I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more?
Oh, yes. Use Moneyfex to receive more for less. from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with Moneyfex. Receive more money through Moneyfex today. Moneyfex, fast, easy, and cheap money transfer service to Cameroon.
Hello and welcome to Watchesay Academy, an educational management firm. Watchesay Academy is the largest e-learning platform in Cameroon capable of simultaneously supporting 5 million students. Our primary objective is closing the gap between the demand and supply of educational services and the adaptation of technology to minimize educational loss. At Watchesay Academy, we have taken upon ourselves to 1. Create content for schools in Cameroon. 2. Convert them into ebooks that covers the syllabus of the academic year. 3. Provide video-based lessons, develop automated grading tools to enable students to carry out self-paced assessments, and make the content available on our e-learning platform for as low as 1,000 francs CFA per subject. In order to visit our website, open a web browser and go to watchesayacademy.com.
Hello guys, welcome back to the list matchup and on relationship hot topics. Hello Bison, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay guys, welcome back. Please, guys, thank you for staying tuned. And if you're joining, you are on relationship hot topics. And today we are talking on the old versus modern woman in marriage. So please, when you're joining us, make sure you share this video, invite your friends, and tell them that Denzel Bison and Emanuela B, we are live and we are discussing a very important topic on the list matchup, so they can come and engage on the conversation with us. You can drop your comments on the comment section, and from our technical side, they'll be projecting your comments so we can read them, we can talk about them, and we can give our own various input on that. So before the we we're discussing about the post that Deli made I think that was yesterday, and Bison has he came in and he talked a whole lot on it. He dropped in some beautiful points on that, and I totally agree with him on a lot of things that he talked about. So I don't know if he is done, but I'm sure, because he said that, and I would like now to have a female view on that from our beautiful sister Emanuela, what she thinks about that post, so we can have her own side. Thank you, Emma. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm not going to take from that Boxer story. I'm not going to talk on that. Yeah. But along the line, I saw the lead part. I don't know if it was the comment or part of the post.
Yes.
That she posted, where the man talked about, like I saw it in the comment, where the man talked about he has to cook. Like he has to.
I think that part was there as well. I think I saw that too.
I just saw it in the comments. Like he has to cook. Yeah, okay. Like she had another problem is cooking. She can't cook the whole week. She must make sure I cook. So that's what I want to handle.
Okay, just so the map. Okay, I think she took it. They took the post back. I wanted to read it. Okay, the thing is back. Just so we know what we are talking about. Here is the post. Another problem is cooking. She can.
Oops.
Okay, I think this is the whole message. Exceptional case. Greetings, Mommy D. God bless you plenty for fine work where you did do. Straight to the point. Bimami. I have been married for 26 months now. My wife is a beautiful, kind woman, but there is a problem. She doesn't wash my underwears. I have tried to no avail to get a reasonable explanation. Mommy D, I am not a dirty man. Dirty man, okay, and my job isn't physical, so I don't sweat on my dresses that much. When we make love, she sucks my Johnson, okay. So I don't know where the problem is. Why? Okay, I think now we get a whole video. This is the second part of it, which he said another problem is cooking. She can't cook the whole week. She must make sure I cook. Okay, though I am the one who works all the money, she will come up with complaints that she is sick, tired, or dizzy. As a good husband, I will enter the kitchen and cook. So I feel like she is pretending. For 2 years now, we don't have a child yet. It means I will die if my wife gets pregnant. I need help, please. Receive sense and self-love. Yeah, so Emma, now you have the whole content of the message, so you can take the section that you prefer.
Yes, then I want to talk about this issue of she can't cook and she always complain that she's sick. I mean, like, nobody is sick for 2 years.
Of course.
Nobody is sick for 2 years.
Except
when I started reading this, or when I started reading this thing, then I saw the sick and dizzy part. I was expecting to see him land with, now that she's pregnant, because pregnancy comes with some stuff. But then it ended, we don't have a child yet. So that is to say, brother is married to an outright lazy woman.
Okay.
Yes, to me, I call that laziness. Because first of all, she doesn't bring, like, she's not working, because saying I bring all the money means the brother is the one working.
Yeah.
Or even if she's working, he doesn't depend on her money or her salary. Yes, he doesn't depend on it. And so it's not even fair for anybody to go out there, do the work, and he's the one to come back home. And instead of getting food, he's supposed to get into the kitchen to cook.
Yes.
Or better still, he goes out there, he works all the cash, and then instead of using his weekend to relax, he's using it to cook so that you can eat for the whole week, and then you're always sick. I mean, to me, I find that as outright laziness. And then when you hear the way the brother sounds, me being the good husband, I just get into there's something we always have to go beyond being the good husband.
Yeah.
And that is why we are having shows like this. There's a difference between allowing yourself being used and being a good husband.
Yeah.
Those are two different stuffs. I'm going to link this thing somehow to that man who was staffed for 8 years, sexually staffed for 8 years. I think if you ask him, he will say he was being a good husband. But then many of us we do not understand why a man should take something like that for 8 years and claim to be a good husband. I think it's just a thing.
Yeah, or what makes you a good husband?
Or what makes you a good husband? Thank you. Yeah. So you cannot be at home, you cannot be with a woman for 2 years who is always sick and dizzy, even though she's not pregnant. And then you're the one who goes out, makes the money, and then you come back and you cook for her. And then she's shot because, sick and dizzy people always lie on the couch. Yeah. They're always on the couch. So she's shortly on the couch with a remote control. She's not sick to watch Nigerian movies. I'm kind of trying to just picture this home, because these sick and dizzy people, they have their way of doing things. And then this good husband comes and gets into the kitchen all the time. What am I driving to? I'm talking to this brother because he's the one who brought this case.
Yeah.
Did you not see a lazy woman when you were dating? It goes back to our first point. Know the person you're getting married to and know why you're getting married. If you see a lazy girlfriend and you think she will become a potential wife, she'll be lazy. There are some complaints that when a human being, a woman or whosoever gives all the time, this is not somebody who can work. Yeah. There are people who might not be able to physically work, but at least they can use their brain.
Yeah.
And the way this brother sounds, if this lady was even intellectually helpful, he would have mentioned. That, but at least she's intellectually helpful. But the fun about it is that sick and dizzy people can hardly think straight. So in a nutshell, this lady in that house is just partaking in eating the money, but she does eventually nothing.
Yeah.
And it goes back to me. I'm just like, marriage has changed. We have just changed what, I mean, the essentials of marriage, what marriage is all about. We need to go back to the drawing board. I'm repeating this. We need to go back to the drawing board. Marriage has been changed. Rules have been changed in marriages. Because have you imagined if this lady was even the one working this money?
You can think of that.
Yes, if she was the one, because now the wrong notion is people are using money to define marriage.
Yeah.
People are using money to define marriage. Because I am the one making the money, I am the one who has the authority. Unfortunately, that's not about marriage. Marriage, you know, the rules of these different rules we have in marriage, it came from God for those who are Christian. And I did not read anywhere in the Bible when money was used to say, he who brings the money receives the span. So me even using this aspect of him saying that he brings the money, it's not to support the fact that because he brings the money, he is the superior one. It's just to say he brings the money. It means he does almost all the work, yet he has to come to the house, he does all the work at home. Because when we start misinterpreting all of this money, the role of money and the role of marriage, we are going to think that tomorrow, if it's a woman making the money, it means she needs to talk, she needs to give orders around the place, she needs to this, the man needs to be the one on the couch, and the man needs to be the one who is going to be sick and dizzy. No, that's not the idea we are trying to give out there. There are roles in marriages. I said this thing last 2 weeks, and I keep saying, for me, I don't even find it normal that my husband should always be the one cooking, whether he makes the money or not, whether I make money or not. For me, I don't find it funny. I don't find it. It's not normal for me. So,
and I think, Emma, sorry, I think when this guy mentioned money, he was not like trying to put money as an aspect that in marriage. I think he was just trying to label out his own responsibilities and activities in the marriage.
Exactly.
It's not like
That's why I said, for me, I am not even trying to use this money as if, because when you start using this money, right, people will start thinking that you're using this money. Now you're trying to talk about money because since he brings money, it means the wife, he has to order the wife. That's why I said people should not get us wrongly trying to use money here, because that was not his aim using money. His aim of using this money was just like, he does all the work because he will bring all the, if you're the one bringing all the money, that means you barely have time. You have to, except the man is a scammer. And even scammers need to think. They sit on the laptop more often. And if you're sitting on the laptop as a scammer, and then at that time, you, the wife, at least you need to cook, you need to clean, you need to do the things. So that's why this issue of money is coming in. Because I just did not want people to get mixed up with the role of money, because I always have an issue when people try to use money to define the roles of marriage. Because to me, it's not so important, you know. The roles of marriage are there, very standard. And those are the things we have to follow.
Yeah.
You know, society, people are really trying to define, they want to make a unique definition of how every marriage should look like. People just want to give their own definitions of marriage. They just, you know, it was really, I saw this post, I wanted to comment, but the other comments I saw, I said, oh God, it was like, it's really, really pathetic. It was a shame. And most of these comments came from girls, man. People that they chop shit for the house to make their partner they happy. Make some man no fool you.
There are days I don't even want to see my husband in the kitchen. Let's be honest. There are days. Okay, I'm getting a question on the screen. Like, what if this girl in question is really ill or physically not fit?
Yeah.
Like, this is 2 years, right?
Yeah, and the guy would have complained, of course. Yes, he would have mentioned it. He would have mentioned it.
I'm not thinking this guy would have mentioned that actually, like, she's not physically something, but then the fact that he said he thinks she is pretending. That's where I'm taking my point from, because it could be that he has observed to see that it seems there's something, you know, fishy about this sickness for the past 2 years. Because, I mean, honestly, if you ask me, the only thing this lady brings to the marriage is sex.
Probably, yeah. I think Emma, it's even it's so illogical for when we see a post like that and people are trying to bring aspects that they are not on that post. It doesn't really make sense to me, because if this woman was unfit, the husband would have said she's unfit. So it doesn't even give us the room to be thinking that probably she's unfit or she is that or she's that. No, if that was the case, I think this man would have said it. And the main problem that the man is dealing with, he tabled it down for people to talk about. So I always judge people or judge situation based on what I see, what is on the table. I'm not some kind of a magician to be assuming like maybe it's A, maybe it's B. No, let's work on the facts that we have on the table. Okay. Yeah. So when I saw people I saw the post, I already commented on it. It was so bizarre. I was really heartbroken yesterday when I read that. Yes.
I'm sorry for cutting you, just so this comment doesn't go away, because I think it's very important. That's why it's been projected. From Ban, I mean, excuse me, from Solange. Solange says, are we not over-condemning this woman in question? Have we asked who does other house chores apart from washing boxes? Now, what I would like to say is, Solange, I'm sorry, like you're taking us a bit like 30 minutes back. Always, because if you see, I was answering this question from another dimension, which means the area of boxers has already been handled, which is just part of the case. And now we are talking about cooking. Are you also saying that they are condemning this woman for not being able to cook for the husband and always complaining about being sick and dizzy? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't know why you're going back to the boxer issue.
And for my sake, I'm not even onto the woman's case. I'm talking more on the comments, the type of comments I read from this post. Yeah. All the comments pertaining to the crucifying the guy and things like that. I'm mostly on all the comments I read on the post. They were so horrible. Yeah. They were uncalled for. People were terming the woman as slave, that the man wants to take her as a slave. Crazy. Slave, because I marry you like my wife. I ask you to wash my boxers, and you say I'm taking you as a slave. When it's a sacrifice that could be done in our home, man, people make all kinds of arrangements for that their marriage should work, and depending on their individual skills, you understand. So woman, he know how to take care for Pikin and take care for us. You must go tell say, mommy, other than you going to work because you want to assist me in the bills and every other thing, you are good in this your house thing, taking care of the kids at the house. Stay. I'll keep myself as I find money, cover all bills, all things, give you allowance. If the woman is okay with that, not being a career woman, fine. They are living in a happy home. It concerns society for it. Society will look at it and say, the man is refusing the woman from being a career woman. Now who tell now? People just want to be happy, and they are sacrificing anything.
This is not every job is a career job now. The career to the local career. How many people?
Not now they use a local ear now. Say career woman. This. Even though the career man and a career woman. Now they use a people are defining their marriage anyhow that will make it happy, and they're taking any decisions. I don't see home when the woman they work. The man they has in the wash pan, cook, change diapers of Pikin. The woman is okay. The man is okay. Society go look and say, now can a weak man this? Who send una for their team? They are together to make each other happy. They are not there to define. Say society don't talk say a man get for the work, the woman get for us, or woman get for the work. If people who are not married, see this single girl for outside with don't be so wild and bitter. They should mind the way they talk about people's marriages. They should be very careful the way they talk about people's marriage. All these single ladies there, no man who makes a person single. They have been so bitter nowadays. Are we in a war?
No, they should have. This on an upcoming gigolo. How you?
Yes, agree. Not be upcoming, full time. Me.
Well, I think I also think that we are Africans and we grew up in an environment where we are inclined to work really hard, especially for the men. But also we are talking now about an institution where men come from different parts of the globe to get in. Okay, like the men mostly from like the South America or even Europe. You know, we have seen men where the man is not really doing that much. You know, like he can take care of the house. I always say this, God, like this one said too, God has blessed us differently. And it's high time that we as human beings, we identify those things that God has blessed us with. We have a bunch of potentials. Okay. And if you are a good, this is my perspective. Okay. If you are, as a man, if I am a good cook, let me speak on myself now. If I am a good cook, right? I think I can cook better up than my wife, which most men are. Okay, I think it's okay for you as a man to go into the kitchen and prepare food for the family. I might be a bad accountant, and my wife's a good accountant. Let her handle the financial part that she is blessed with and do it effectively. I just want to, this is my hope for the future marriage. Let's assume responsibilities on the areas that we are best at. And I should not despise my wife or my friends or also in any other relationship that I found myself, that you are not doing more or you are not working at your best because you are not doing the things that bring money on the table. This is a marriage, this is a family, this is an institution. We bring in things from different angles for the survivor, for the betterment of that institution. Am I like natural? Like this one was discussing the other time that whether we like it or not, washing of dishes is somehow attached to women. I don't know about you people, but I grew up from the home that I was the first child as a boy, and my younger sister came behind me. Okay. I was sweeping the house, I was sweeping the floor, the compound early in the morning while she was doing the dishes. I don't know about you guys, but all these things that we practice as a child growing up, they have a way of preparing us for the marriage. My mom was already telling my sister from the childhood that, hey, these are some of the things that you will do. We have been caught up in a society where people do different things, and I get that. But hey, there are some things that they have been instilled in us, and we cannot take those things for granted. There are things like, let me say, for example, Emma, you bought them, you've been to IKEA, you bought some tables, right? And you have a boyfriend with you at home. Who is going to assemble that together?
The man, of course. It's a manly job.
It's like psychologically.
When the woman has a flat tire.
Yes. Psychologically,
when the woman has a flat tire, who does that? It's automatically, it rings in our head. Oh, mom, my tire on boss. I just have a change up.
You know what?
Bob don't blow for us. Now me, I give a clap of change up. I don't get massa.
I'm just afraid that we shouldn't talk and contradict ourselves at the same time, you know?
Yes.
When we talk about some things that have been instilled with us, in us, let's go round. Let's make it go round. Let's not choose some things that have been instilled in us, and then we try to put some. You talk about Southern America. I'm happy you talked about Southern America. Unfortunately, that's not Africa. Africans were not taught.
But they are in marriage.
Let me learn. Because you are talking about who should make the money. I want to talk from the direction of anybody can make the money, right? So, as an African, as you were growing up, you rightly said there were some duties that were shown to us that were kind of grooming us into marriage already. And part of that duty taught us theoretically that men are supposed to do this job to take care of their women. Theoretically, I know why I keep talking about theory, you know. And then going back to the Bible, even the Bible says it, the man would till the soil very well to take care of his family. So that is something that was instilled in us. And that's why you see people holding on to this ideology of men should work while women have their place at home.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that is why when that position is reversed, there's always an issue. You will see women will always make big career women, always, as Bison wants to call it, an issue. I am the one bringing the money. Why do they always bring these cases of I'm the one bringing the money? Because it's not our culture as such. It's not our culture. Now, going back to what you people are talking about, the tires and all of that. Now you use Achaia, and tell me you're using Achaia. Achaia is in Europe, it's not in Africa. If I am in Africa, it's obvious. The first thing that will come to my mind is that, hey, I need my brother to help me, because that is how we're groomed. And it has made me not to even...
that is when you are single. That is when you are single. Okay, let's speak in the case of Africa.
Exactly.
You've been, Emma, let's speak on the case on Africa. You've been to the market, you bought a chicken, and you are living with your husband or your boyfriend. Who is going to dissect that chicken?
Oh, do you want to know that the house I grew up, it was the women who were doing it? So, I mean, like, I'm just trying to say, this is what I'm trying to say, Denzel. Like, there are some things you're talking about grooming, and sometimes it depends on the situation you even find yourself in. You're talking about this chicken. I've been in situations so many times where the men are sitting there. It's a woman who is doing it because it's a woman who can do it. Even in our own home, we were doing this. The house where I grew up, we do not even have men around all the time. So when you are going to the kitchen, right, you have to take an axe. Yes, I grew up using an axe to prepare my firewood to get into the kitchen. But homes where these men are, they will not do that. But I have been trained to do that, meaning that I can do it whether there's a man or there is no man. But I want to take back this your changing of tire stove and the Achaia you used. Now let's come back. People are painting houses here. Women do paint houses. I don't know about Switzerland, but in Germany, when you rent a house, whether you're single or married, it's not the landlord's business. Most of the time when you're living in some apartments, you are expected to paint that house. Women paint it. Do we see it as a common practice in Cameroon for women to paint houses? No. But unfortunately, they find themselves in this situation, and then they have to do it. I'm just like, when we say these things, right, let's just be careful with the kind of examples we use to compare it, because we can turn out now to contradict ourselves. And that's why I keep saying, to me, it's not sexy. You might think it's too sexy, but for me, I don't find it sexy when my husband is a permanent cook at home. I will not. But here, it's normal for a lot of people. Your husband is a permanent cook, but for me, it's not. I don't find it normal, because I have my own things that will make me feel like a complete woman. I have those things too. Yes. And I don't appreciate it when some of these rules are taken away from me. The same way, if I have to be the sole provider of my marriage, bringing the money, it's also not sexy for me. I won't find that kind of marriage sexy. To me, if you want to be a complete man in my life, just bring the money now. I can support it.
Okay, another thing that I would like us to talk about is this. I was doing some research, and I came to the realization that from almost, I think, 1960 and up to date, the rate at which, let me say, from 23 years old to 23 for women and 29 for men. In the 1960s, this is the age where a bunch of people between men and women, they were getting married. Okay, and now after 1960s, you move forward, like come to 2000s, right? The age for women has gone a little bit up to 29, then 32 to 35 for men. And from what I got, it's all coming from, I think Bison talked about this a little bit, from the equality. And the writer of that article, he emphasized on education and the number of women that are having jobs now. I don't really want to talk more, like to go really deep into it, because there were so many beautiful stuff that I got from them. But do you guys think that marriage, like the way women, the equality, the way women are making more money now, the amount they make has affected the rate at which the modern woman accepts marriage? I don't know if you would like to take that, Emma, or Bison will start.
Okay. Take that if Bison doesn't mind. Bison, do you want to take it first, or should I talk?
Ladies before gentlemen, I give you that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's talking about money. I'm so happy you brought this whole thing. And, I think it's really going to take me back to the point where I made, like, I really have an issue when people use marriage to judge, to give the factors, to determine how marriage should go. I have an issue with that. Now let's go back to the rate at which women make money.
Yeah.
This is it. I have the notion that we feel like women are making money now more just because we are getting more information about it. It's not so different. There's also another thing about the notion. We try to use blue-collar jobs or white-collar jobs. I don't even know how to differentiate between blue-collar and white-collar jobs, but we try to use this kind of professional career women, like Bison was saying, to judge if a woman is making money. But no, there are a lot of ways women do make money that are not recorded. And then, in the past, they were making this money. And how were they making this money? If I can do some work to save my husband from using some money, it means I'm making money too. Let me explain this. Now, you talked about an article you read. I know you're a very good reader, Denzel. Also, because there's a writer, I can tell you later. His name is Fridolin Anobi. He wrote about something in 2002. He wrote about something in Cameroon, a case in Cameroon, and he used the Betty culture as an example. Yeah. And this is what he said. He said a lot of Betty men, or some Betty men, were getting married to so many women because they had lands that they needed labor. So they were not getting married because they needed so many wives or, to enjoy like it's going now. But they had lands that they needed people to work on. Now, what is this? What does this entail? They bought lands, they owned these lands or these farms, yet women were the ones working on this farm. And if I can go to the farm, Denzel, I work beans, corn, plantain. I save my husband from using his salary, since he's the one with a blue-collar job, from buying these things I work, and then I also bring the money. So I think the mistake we keep making is just about trying to look at the blue-collar job, about people who are getting pay slips and stuff like that. No, women were getting to the market. Go to Nkwen Market, for example. I don't know about markets in Southwest. Go to the markets we have. If you want to do some census, who are those in the market? Women. They are petty traders. They are making money, not for themselves, for their families. So they were bringing money. They have always been bringing money, and they are still bringing money. Now, this is the problem with modern time. When our mothers were bringing this money, working in the farms, they were not complaining because they knew it was their duty. Okay. Some of them knew they were married for this. And then on the other hand, some of them knew it was a disgrace to say it out there that, you see, even though my husband, because there's something, there is a difference between making the money and bringing the money home. Yeah. Those are two different stuffs. So you get people who get this pay slip, they don't even bring the money home. So we cannot even use it to judge the home, kind of. So some of these women were even ashamed to admit to the fact that they were the ones taking care of their homes. So they never talked about things like that. Their husbands too were ashamed to even let people know that their wives were the ones in charge. So they never, it was kind of a shame, they never wanted to have discussions like that. Then what's happening in the modern day? Shame, there's no shame. As the woman is bringing it, she rather wants the world to know that as soon as see that man so and as a useless man, now me I bring the money. So the whole world knows that your husband is not, even though he's bringing the money, he's not taking care of the family. So people complain about it. The man on his part, he doesn't care. If you care, you tell the whole world. He doesn't care. Yes, we have read from some of the cases. Some of them, they don't care that their wives are the ones making this money. And if you even look at the way men are so proud to say that their women supported them in paying their bride price, then you know that the world has turned upside down. If you look at the way women are proud to say that they get money for their husbands to pay their bride price, I'm like, something is called a bride price, and you're joining to pay. The man is very proud to say it. There was a post one time on Daily Matchup, and the guy was like, the way he was saying it, I'm sure his shoulders were up when he was typing his comments. It's very okay if my girlfriend wants to support. That is to tell you that the mindset of a modern man and modern woman has changed so much that we begin now to think that the things that were happening are only happening now. No, they were happening before. Women were bringing money. They were just not talking about it. They were just not recording. As we are talking now, we have a lot of women taking care of their homes, but they are not recorded.
Yeah, but Emma, don't you also think that some of these things are coming because of the bulky demand of marriages nowadays? Back then, it was not due to, like, our grandparents or parents did not really have much to pay into their woman's family, but now I think, if I have to go back home and get married now, I should be preparing more. I would like more than 3 million just for that. The showbiz stuff I want to do, the marriage from her family, and all those kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like this could be some of the reasons why some of these women feel like, okay, we are getting into an institution, and I feel like I can support my husband to be, because the demands are really high. People spend 10 million for a wedding or for a marriage, and all the needs and all that. So don't you think like this could be some of the reasons?
Why what is happening exactly, please? I mean, you mean the reasons for what? For the women paying for the bride price? Or?
To support, not to pay, but to support the man.
Then they see, until thy kingdom come, even if they ask the man to pay 10 million, the way I can support him as a woman is to try to talk to my family to be considerate. Nobody should sell me for 10 million. Me put an increase.
Okay, but what about we have cases where families
have... for you to take out money to pay your bride price? Hey.
No, but I do not think the more like you are paying for your own bride price, you're supporting your husband
to pay your bride price.
Not just like to the whole wedding, in the whole wedding.
Then you're mixing this. No, then you're mixing up the whole thing. Paying of bride price is something different. That's something different. It's different from the marriage ceremony. Meaning, I'm talking about payment of bride price. That's something different you get. The marriage ceremony is not of the man alone. Two people are getting married. It's not one person to take the ceremony all in his hands. I have to support for the ceremony. In fact, now woman they ever even invite past man begin themselves. I cannot be inviting the whole world and then I'm not supporting, especially if I am in a position to support. I am talking about payment of bride price. That's something different. I'm not talking of the ceremony.
Yeah, but Emma, I do not. Anyway, this is the way I see it, right? Let's say I've been given a list of 5 million, and we have a program our wedding and everything that entails under the wedding, and you like my wife gives me, or my wife to be gives me 1 million, and we participate that money. We like whatever domains that the money have to go into. It might not go for the bride price. It could go for food. That is still a way that she has supported me.
No, Denzel, no, it's not the same. The money that you're being asked to pay for your wife's bride price is something that has nothing to do with you people. It concerns her family. As the man, bring the money. Let's discuss the money with me. We don't have any discussion, except, like I said, a situation where they have overtaxed, as the one claims that they tax man beginning a tax and so. They have overtaxed you, and then I feel like, don't worry, I'll talk to my family about this. They should consider this. But you know what? It's from your bank account that money will come out. That particular money is from your bank account. The rest, that ceremony you're talking about, do you know that you can still pay bride price without doing any ceremony? So,
that's true.
Yeah. Let's be some
let's get them a bit some point of view.
Yeah, so
money na the root of evil. Oh. You know that song? See, I used to talk, say, there are some homes, if you offer wives of these homes 5 million, so they can start business, married go chakara. Yes. Yet to I tell you now, there are homes like that. If you just give the wife, you just say, well, mommy, I want to support you 5 million, me take a start business, married go chakara. Remember when we were talking about domestic violence, I told you I said, but how do you guys even come up with this topic? Why are our topics so related to each other like that? I made a comment here. I said, what actually happens in you find girls in domestic relation in a violent relationship, but they can't leave because they have the question in their mind that if I leave, who's I go start?
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
How I will go start with life? So they are there not for the marriage anymore. They are there for the money.
For the money.
You see. So if you meet such a relationship and you file a 5 million, you get the guys take and start business. The next day they come on married. There are relationships that you don't dig. The woman finds a job, the next day married on to wahala.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand? This is because, and another example I'll give you again is that among us Africans or Cameroonians, there is a higher divorce rate for those of us Africans living abroad than those living in Cameroon. Why? Because the one day they abroad, at least all the women they get small thing to do. Any man will do your own small thing, pick your own small dollar.
Yeah.
They see the dollar, then this small money now a weapon.
Yeah, with the help of social. I also think social is also affecting our marriages here.
Yeah, small money no. They see the money like weapon. In their mind, they look at their husband. They tell their husband, "You shoot, I shoot." They too have bullets to shoot.
You cheat, I cheat.
You cheat, I cheat. You remember? Yeah, I once posted that. I said, anyway, that time I was quoting my brothers and sisters in America, but in general now, I'll make it very general. Say married, it don't strong like Amazonian crisis. No man, no one drop a weapon. That weapon was pride. Pride originated from money. We want we fought for our women, for the women's right. We fought for equality because we saw our women to be so talented. They can do a lot. And whatever a woman does out there is for the benefit of the home, the man benefits, you understand?
Yeah.
Trust me, if we knew that this thing would backfire like this, we will keep that woman. Even school self will not even give the right to education for women. Had it been, yes, had it been, now we accepted. Had it been, we knew that it would backfire like this, for even leave the woman, there has no school. Trust me. Those people that fought for the right of women, they didn't know the women will use this right to come back against them. You understand me? It's just they say where you cut chain for slavery food, the next day the people can have gone start fighting master.
Yeah.
That is the main thing. That is the reason why money for women. We want to expect women to make their own money, be able to use their own money in portraying their managerial skills. We admire this in women. Portraying their managerial skills. Show us, make us to become much more innovative. You know, make the home to become diverse. But money, this thing for money. You have problem with a woman now, a woman that has money. At first, when a man and a woman, they have problem, according to African tradition, if they have a problem, the woman will leave the man's house, go to the man's family, her in-laws, to complain that way my master don't do so, and stay. But now, because they have money, some of them don't even go to their in-laws. Some of them even just go pay in a hotel. They just drive motor go pay in a hotel. Seriously. Yeah. And once I tell you,
just to chip in for you before you continue, don't you think that going to that hotel at that time is not necessary? It's not necessarily connected to the fact that she has the money, because she could still go to a friend's place. Could it be that at that point she doesn't deem it necessary to tell the in-laws just yet that I have an issue with the husband?
There is a very funny comment there, Bison, that we should take back the rights of education.
No, we can't take back the right. You see, we can't take on another side. You know, I really enjoy the rights, which women's right. I really enjoy it. It's much more on our benefit, but we are now talking about the effect on how it has affected us. You know, we can't take back this right. We want to give you more right.
It's impossible.
Yes, it's impossible, and they should give us reasons. They should show us reasons more reasons why we should give them more rights. You know, and this back to this money issue. I said women should use their money, the money and the opportunities we have given them, not as a weapon to fight their husbands, but that to use it as a way of making their family innovative, richer, helping their husband. A woman working it makes it life easier for her husband, of course. It's not like fighting the man. But money today has done a lot. It has destroyed a lot of marriages. Money alone has destroyed a lot of marriages.
Yeah.
Women think because they have money.
Wrong factor.
Wrong fact.
Wrong fact.
No, wrong fact.
I say wrong factor to be used.
Okay, yeah. Money. See.
When I told not start fight now, go ahead.
No, we fight. You see, the money for a woman, women should instead get their husbands as they should use their husbands' opportunities, the opportunities that have been given to them by their husbands. They should use it much more in developing their homes, making their homes happier. Money is not meant for a woman to make themselves beautiful as well. Let me not forget, to make themselves, which they are doing it very, very well. But they should not use it as if it's a backup. It's a backup plan. After all, I get my money. You know, that's what they think. After all, I get my money. They use money.
Now, what should they use it for, please?
They should use it to develop their home, not as a backup plan. Backup plan for a fight. You understand? Not as a backup plan.
Hello, my name is Madison Gafison.
And I'm Claudia Gafison.
And we are the founders of Lead Missions International. We are so excited to announce to you our 2021 suite of conferences.
We all know how the last 12 months have been, but we believe that this is the time to arise and take the lead in our lives, families, communities, and the nations.
That is why we are inviting you to our Men Lead Conference holding July 21st and 22nd in Mission, Texas.
And our Leading Lady Conference on July the 23rd and 24th in Mission, Texas.
In our Men Lead Conference this year, we are exploring leadership above and beyond.
And for our ladies, we will be exploring the 3 V's: vision, values, and voice.
You know how the bar of leadership keeps dropping in our society today, but we believe that now is the time to arise and to go above and beyond and to set the stage for the right kind of leadership that we want in our families, in our communities, and in our nations.
Ladies, we shall be uncovering how to add a voice to our vision and values as we live out our true calling as leaders in society.
So why not join us July 21st through the 24th in Mission, Texas, and in person, or from the comfort of your home somewhere around the world.
This year we'll be coming to you from the Lead Missions headquarters in Mission, Texas, and we'll be broadcasting to the rest of the world.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. Please, if you're joining us, we are on relationship hot topics and on daily match up. So please, we do not really have enough time, but we can still have a few minutes of conversation. And this one was the one talking about regarding to money. And I think that is also important if I give in my own input, though I am the host of today. You know, I do not want our people to get the conception wrong when we talk about money. Money, this is what I like. Money no get heart. You know, money no get muscles. Money no get vein. Money no get blood. You know, you who owns the money have the power over that money. We as human beings, we have instilled so much misconception towards money. We feel like money is everything. We feel like money has power. We feel like money has a kind of a soul on its own, but it's a lie. Money doesn't. The way you define, the way you interpret money, the way you want to use it, it's just a medium of exchange, and the way you put it to work is going to work for you. But money doesn't have a heart or a soul, so do not use your money, or do not make your money destroy your home. Money, it's beautiful. You can use it and do amazing things. You can use it to do like beautiful things, but please do not allow money that God has blessed you with to destroy the institution that God built for you all. So I think I just needed to add that to what Bisong and Emma has been saying all through. We have 5 more minutes to go, and before they round up, I would like to ask them this last question for one, like they should deal with it for 30 seconds. Either of you could say yes or no if you agree to it, okay? Either yes or no. But if you feel like you can talk just a little bit more on it, I'll be happy. When I look at divorce, or people who have been into the room to divorce, I've never seen one of these couples complain that I want my love that I invested in that marriage or for you. People always fight the car, the house, the property. Now, here is the question. Do you guys agree with me that marriage is more of economical base than love base?
No, I don't agree with you, because using your example, I will not agree like that.
Yes. Okay, you do not agree. So, Bisong, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yes, most likely.
Let me expand Denzel using some few seconds. I mean, I say, if I use your example, I will not agree like that, because like you said, love is not something you can take back after giving. I mean, there's no way. So people only tend to ask the things they can take back. What about kids? Did you use kids too? Kids are not economic. They're not part of economy.
We cannot divide kids. So
they do sometimes. They do. They say, trying to take this.
But still, those kids belongs to the man and the wife, or the man and the woman. Okay. But why I used the economical base or love base is like, if you were there, like, is it really that you were there for those material things, or you were there for love?
For love, I mean, it should be for love, right?
Okay, if it was there for love, why is when people go into a divorce room, they're asking for material things? So I kind of feel like, anyway, I believe that it's more of economical base than love base.
I get your point. Yeah. What I'm explaining is this: the example you're using is a bit tricky for you to conclude like that, because obviously when people go to separate, they obviously ask for the things they can easily share. The same as we get people getting into that room, they don't care about the property, they just want to get away from someone.
Are you sure someone like that?
Of course, there are people who separate.
Well, the thing is. When if people go into a divorce court, into the court to divorce, it's obvious that love doesn't exist between them anymore. The only thing that exists are the material things, and that's the only thing they can share. They can't share love anymore. They can only share material things, motor, house, because the thing during their time, these are all their love, their time they invested in that relationship. That brought forth all the properties and things like that. So they can't go without getting. So they start, and I will take the motor, I will take the house, I will do so. So that's what I think.
Anyway, though it does, like, it's kind of like a man said, it's tricky, and I find it really funny, picky, when I see people like, give me this, give me that, give me that, like, is that the main reason why you were here? Why don't you just say, okay, I'm leaving you, I'm like, for my sanity, for my peace of mind, stuff like that, So anyway, we have just a minute.
Okay, maybe I should ask you this question.
Yes.
Okay. If I decide to divorce, or we decide to go in for divorce, we get into the room, and you say, I don't care about the material things, I just want to leave. And I also say, I don't care about the material things. So why are you people leaving the things? Charity?
I think both of us cannot go. We cannot take the same direction. It's impossible.
So I mean, who should now take a direction?
Okay, Ma, we do not have enough time. I don't know. Let me give you 30 seconds to round up, or like just the summary of what we have been talking about, or what you think. Then this one will also step in.
Okay, so oh my God, we've got this already mixed. Yeah, so talking about olden days marriage versus what, I just wish to say like, okay, it's sad to say or not sad, but it's rather unfortunate that the old people cannot learn again from us. You know, the time already passed. But us, these modern people who are getting into marriages, people who want to get married, we have those things that we can also learn from our mothers. So I just wish to say it's a two-sided thing. Take those things that are worth learning. Don't just think you need to just drop everything and get into the modern woman's shoe because you've been emancipated, or the modern man's shoe because you don't care about some things now. We can learn those two things, you know. We can take it from both ends. And to say, Bisong, I will be very grateful on a serious note to have a reference from you that men are the ones who gave women the right to education and right to equality. I would like to read about that.
I'll find a link and send to you immediately.
Okay, Bisong. Yeah, Bisong, you can go in now and summarize.
For a conclusion, well, like if we have to look, I just want people to. We can't trash like the olden days. We can't put everything into the bin, because even in the court of law today, they still value what is the customary law, which is something which was practiced by, you know, even though some of the customary aspects they were thrown away, but some of it is still being used in court today. Courts still make judgments according to the custom and tradition of particular people. So I urge the people of today that, despite the fact that we may rule out some of things happening in marriages in the old, back then, women were forbidden to eat certain things. You know, they say woman no go chop gizzard for fowl, you know, go do this, all these things. We've kicked that away. You know, we've given them the equality. Back then, we denied women education, we denied them careers, we denied them. It was so conservative that they had to live only at home, take care of the kids. We say no to that. In a modern society, in a modern marriage of today, we want our women to have the opportunity to work, do what they want. They should flex. They should exploit the world. You know, there's a lot to exploit, but they should not forget their primary aspect, their primary responsibility in marriage, same as the men. No matter what happened, even though we have women today that they work, they could bring money at home, we don't forget our primary responsibility, our God-ordained responsibility to provide for the home. Even if we have women who can provide, it's our responsibility. We will love our responsibility to love and provide. We will love and we will provide. And the women too, they should not forget, they must submit to their men, and they must still carry out this God-ordained responsibility. Take care of their home, take care of their kids, even though they have all these advantages and opportunities around them that has been given to them. Blend the old and the new. There's nothing wrong with that, and do anything to make your home happy. It's not about society. Marriage is not to please society. Marriage is to please your partner. Do what makes your partner happy, and your partner, and whatever you do should be reciprocated.
Okay, man. Thank you guys Thank you guys so much for this episode, and I'm really inclined with what most of you talked about, and I love it. It's a very beautiful show, and for me to add on my own side, it's just to encourage our viewers out there. You know, we can agree that they taught you in school how to become a doctor, how to become a surgeon, and all those kind of things, how to become a lawyer. Even when we talk about Christianity, it's like there is a priest, there is someone in church who taught you how to navigate into the Christianity realm. But one of the things that is very important, and people hardly seek education, it's relationship, marriage. I think it's high time, if you are planning to get into a relationship, try to talk to someone who has done some kind of studies about relationship. Look for a book. There are videos on YouTube. There are relationship coach, relationship counselors. Go if you are looking for a committed relationship. Talk to these people. Pay them. Do whatever you can to make sure these people guide you. Do not navigate your way into the realm of marriage by yourself. You are going to fail. You are going to fail. So that was just what I said. Let me add to that. Thank you guys so much. And it's been a pleasure having you guys, Emma and Bisong. And I hope we are going to have another amazing show next week. And hey guys, Dele will be with us next week. And thank you guys, and see you all next week. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend as well. Bye.
There is always that moment when the world treats you like you ain't worth nothing. When hardship and difficulty makes you want to melt in the presence of your landlord. In these moments, the weak break down in despair, but the strong stand up and find solutions to their problems. They look for people who can help them build their dreams. They look for directions as they search their hearts to find their dreams. Then they finally find their dreams in places so beautiful, so magical, even their wildest dreams couldn't have led them to. In moments like this, they visit all their meeting groups. They use up all their last savings, put up every penny to the pursuit of their dreams. Then finally, they realize their dreams and find happiness with their loved ones. Because the finest things in life are so close but seem so far. Like Mary, you can own a land and build your dream. At Pedis Properties, we build your dreams with you.
Hey, darling.
Hello, honey.
I brought you this.
You got me a new blender.
Oh, yes. Thanks to the more money I've been receiving through Moneyfex.
How come?
I receive more money through Moneyfex because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last senders I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more?
Oh, yes. Use Moneyfex to receive more for less from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with Moneyfex. Receive more money through Moneyfex today. Moneyfex, fast, easy, and cheap money transfer service to Cameroon.
Septembre frappe à votre porte et c'est très bientôt le mois des rentrées académiques en Grande-Bretagne. Rien de plus passionnant que d'étudier dans l'une des plus prestigieuses universités au monde en Angleterre. FK Global Educational Ventures vous facilite la tâche et désormais vous offre la possibilité d'aller étudier en Angleterre. FK Global Educational Ventures, c'est un ensemble de conseils pratiques sur le choix de vos filières, la vie en Angleterre, mais surtout la direction à prendre après vos études. Tenez par exemple, pour les étudiants en filière master, sachez-le désormais, vous avez la possibilité d'obtenir 2 ans de visa après vos études afin de permettre votre intégration sociale et surtout de trouver un emploi fiable, convenable à votre diplôme. Mais alors, ce n'est pas tout. Pour les étudiants en cycle STEM, entendu par là, les sciences, les technologies, l'ingénierie et surtout les mathématiques, sachez-le, désormais, il est plus facile pour vous d'obtenir une résidence permanente en Angleterre. Alors, FK Global Educational Ventures, c'est désormais la porte qui vous est offerte pour arriver en Grande-Bretagne, de faire des études meilleures et surtout d'avoir un avenir sûr. Global Educational Ventures, c'est un ensemble de conseils pratiques avec des professionnels qui sont là pour vous diriger exactement sur la bonne voie jusqu'à l'obtention de votre visa. Retrouvez-nous dans l'un de nos sites web. Retrouvez-nous par notre contact WhatsApp. Retrouvez-nous par un contact email que vous regardez au bas de cet écran et je suis sûr que vous aurez une réponse satisfaisante à votre demande. Merci de nous avoir regardés.
Bonne nouvelle pour les Camerounais vivant à l'étranger et prenant soin de leurs proches au pays. Vous pouvez désormais acheter des médicaments à partir de l'application Your Farm et les faire récupérer dans une pharmacie locale. Voici comment cela fonctionne. Parcours de l'acheteur. 1. Vous recherchez le médicament en tapant le nom. 2. Ensuite, vous sélectionnez une pharmacie dans une ville où vit votre proche. 3. Vous effectuez l'achat en utilisant PayPal ou une carte de crédit, débit. 4. Vous envoyez le code de confirmation unique au destinataire. Parcours de bénéficiaire. Le bénéficiaire présente un code de confirmation à la pharmacie et récupère le médicament. Téléchargez l'application Your Farm dès maintenant.